All right, today we're jumping into a really powerful moment from the Kṣitigarbha Sutra. It's this incredible story that kicks off with a massive flash of light that spans the entire universe, and it wraps up with a promise that feels like it was made just for us, right here, right now. So, yeah, let's dive in. But before we get into the thick of it, I've got a question for you. Just think about it for a second. What does a real promise actually look like? I mean, forget the words. What's the energy behind it, the sheer weight of that commitment? Imagine if you could get the entire universe to, I don't know, put on a show just to demonstrate how strong your promise is. What would that even look like? Just keep that idea in your back pocket. Okay, so our story doesn't start with a quiet word. No, it starts with a bang. I'm talking about an event on a scale that's, well, it's pretty much impossible to imagine. It's this spectacular, mysterious light show that literally stopped countless worlds in their tracks. It was a clear signal that something huge, something really, really important was about to happen.
So try to picture this, okay? The Śākyamuni Buddha suddenly just erupts with this brilliant light. And it's not coming from his face or his hands or anything like that. It's coming from his entire body. The light is so incredibly huge that it lights up more worlds than there are grains of sand in 100 billion Ganges rivers. I mean, can you even wrap your head around that? This isn't just some little signal. This is like a cosmic broadcast sent out to every corner of existence.
And you know, there's actually a specific name for this kind of thing. Zhen Xin Bangguang. It's so much more than just a cool miracle. When you see this in Buddhist texts, it's basically the ultimate flare going up. It's the universe itself grabbing you by the shoulders and saying, hey, pay attention, because what you're about to hear isn't just another lesson. This is a core, fundamental truth of everything.
So right in the middle of this absolutely mind-blowing light show, one person steps up, and he's not just some bystander watching it all happen. In a way, he's there for us. He's our guy, our representative, about to ask the question that all of us in the future would want to ask. He's literally asking on our behalf. And that person is Bhagwan Bodhisattva. Now his name is a huge clue here. Bhagwan basically means universally shining light. So his name itself is telling you the whole point of this teaching, the hope that's being offered, the salvation. It's not just for a select few. It's for everyone, everywhere, no exceptions. And here it is, the big question. He looks at the Buddha and pretty much asks, look, this is amazing for all of us here today, but what about the people way down the line? The ones who are going to be living in that messy, confusing, Dharma-ending age. How are they supposed to find any hope in what you're saying? I mean, wow, he's talking about us. He is speaking for us right now.
So how does the Buddha answer? Well, he doesn't launch into some complicated philosophical lecture. No, he does something way more powerful. He gives a direct, full-throated endorsement. It's like he takes that massive cosmic spotlight that was on him, and he turns it and points it directly at someone else, giving them the ultimate, universe-wide stamp of approval.
And this praise for Kṣitigarbha Bodhisattva, it's packed with meaning. You can think of it in three ways. First, it's a certification. The Buddha is basically saying, yep, this guy's the real deal. His methods work. Second, it's an inheritance. He's passing the torch, you know? He's handing over the responsibility for our world to Kṣitigarbha. And third, it's pure symbolism. The act of praising him becomes its own kind of light, something that can slice right through all the fog and confusion in our own minds. And this really nails Kṣitigarbha's special job. See, if you think of Śākyamuni Buddha as the great teacher who had to leave, then Kṣitigarbha is the guardian who stays behind. That's his whole mission, to look after the world during this long stretch of time, this era without a Buddha, making sure that the promise holds, that the light stays on until the next Buddha comes along. He's the one keeping the flame for us. And believe me, the Buddha does not hold back. He just gushes about Kṣitigarbha's unfathomable power and compassion. The message that's being broadcast to the entire cosmos couldn't be clearer. Hey everyone, if you find yourself lost, if you're stuck in a dark time, this is the one you go to. This is the one that I, the Buddha, trust.
But wait, there's more. It doesn't even stop there. The Buddha doesn't just praise Kṣitigarbha. He actually gives this whole teaching 3 different names. And these aren't just random titles. They're like a complete roadmap. Think of it as a spiritual toolkit designed to help you find your way through anything.
So these 3 names, they lay out this perfect, powerful cycle. It goes from a vow, which leads to practice, which generates power. It's a beautiful idea, right? It shows that a promise that really means something is never just a wish. It's an intention, a deep one that kicks off real action. And that action creates actual, tangible energy in the world.
So here's how it breaks down. First, you have the original vow. That's the core promise, to save every single being. Then, there's the original practice. That's all the hard work, the tireless effort over countless lifetimes to actually make good on that vow. And finally, you get the original vow power. That's the incredible energy, the sheer force that's created when that rock-solid promise and that non-stop practice come together. It's like a complete spiritual engine.
Okay, so what does any of this have to do with us? This ancient story, this huge cosmic shout-out, why does it matter? Well, it matters because it's everything. You see that Dharma-ending age that Bogwang Bodhisattva was so worried about? Let's just say it might sound pretty darn familiar.
This era, it's called the Malbyapside, and it's described as a time of just deep spiritual confusion, chaos, uncertainty, a time when trying to find a clear path forward feels next to impossible. Ringing any bells? I mean, the anxiety that Bogwang was talking about for the future, that's the same anxiety that so many of us feel in our world today.
And this is exactly why the Buddha's endorsement is so incredibly powerful. Think about it. His answer to all that future anxiety, it wasn't some dense, complicated philosophy. It was a person. It was a promise. So for us, living in what feels like our own Dharma-ending age, Kṣitigarbha's vow, which has the ultimate seal of approval from the Buddha himself, shines out like this timeless, easy-to-find beacon of hope.
So here we are, right back where we started. Bogwang Bodhisattva stepped up and asked the question for us. The Buddha gave the answer, a promise so big, so powerful, it literally lit up the entire cosmos. And now the ball is in our court. The only question left is the one we have to ask ourselves. How are we going to respond to that answer?